Good morning, Glasgow Rangers Nation. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to Italy. The final day in Italy, guys. Heading home this afternoon. So normal service will be resumed in terms of videos, podcasts, live streams, etc. once I've got all my stuff back at home in my office. Well, thank you for joining this morning or this afternoon or this evening, whenever you've chosen to watch this video. Please smash the sub and obviously ring the notification bell so you never miss out on any of the great content. We've got a lot to talk about this morning. We've got obviously the last night's game against PSV. We've got some Tifo trouble. Apparently the Tifo that was used by the Union Bears last night could be land Rangers in a bit of hot water, allegedly. And also the news from around the club. Well, an interesting game last night, certainly a 2-2 draw with PSV Eindhoven in the first leg of the qualifier for the Champions League group stage. Seems like history repeating itself, doesn't it? Certainly history repeating itself in terms of the fact that Rangers drew 2-2 with them last year and then obviously went on to win 1-0 in Eindhoven. I think certainly every Rangers fan is hoping that history will repeat itself. In terms of the game last night, it was a game where the first sort of, 5-10 minutes we did very well again, out of the traps quickly, getting into them. And then the rest of that first half, up until the Seema goal, I think was pretty much dominated by PSV Eindhoven, showing what a decent outfit they are. They passed the ball well, they controlled possession. I think they had upwards of 70% possession, and I think at one point we'd completed 53 passes. They'd completed over 200. They certainly seemed to have some control of the ball. However, they didn't generate an awful lot of chances. I think it was only the Bakayoko shot that stung the fingers of Jack Butland, who again was very solid in goal last night. Another decent performance from our number one. The atmosphere again at Ibrox last night was absolutely amazing. The fans were brilliant, and that was full credit to everyone who was there last night. Over 47,000 in attendance at the game. The game, obviously, I think it was a weird one, wasn't it? You know, we seemed to be under the cosh, under pressure. And it certainly seemed that we would, if we got in at half time at 0-0, it would have been a decent first half performance by the lads. But messing around at the back from PSV's defence, Dessers pressed it, got the ball back, passed it to Seema. Now, Seema had been largely ineffective for the entire of the first half. Had given the ball away, had given up on balls, had not really chased, had not been much use in the air, had not really done a lot, to be honest with you, and been fairly awful until he hit that absolute worldy, swirling shot into the top corner, which I don't think any keeper on earth would have stopped. A fantastic finish to put Rangers 1-0 up at the half. I mean, it was certainly an interesting team selection, wasn't it, from Michael Beale? I think a lot of people were expecting Danilo to start up front with Dessers. Certainly weren't expecting to see Seema. But it does see that Seema is very much part of Michael Beale's European plans. He does need to start an awful lot of games. He started the away leg in Servette, for example. I think his pace is something that Beale does value. But I think there's still a struggle over where is Seema's best position. Some people dubbing him the new fashion Sakala, but without the talent, which I think is a little bit harsh on Abdallah Seema. I think he's more a wide player. We were using him a lot from the left again. Actually, I don't think he's in his natural position. He's more a wide right kind of guy. He's not a centre forward. He's not a through the middle kind of player. So for me, it was a bit of a surprise that, again, that Beale used him where he did. But, Beale is the manager. He's the man paid to take the decisions. He's the man paid to take the pressure. So we've got to obviously go with him and obviously trust in what he does. Second half, I think, was much more evenly balanced between the two teams. Rangers, again, going out there and putting a bit more fight, a bit more battle into that second half. Although I do think our midfield was very ineffective last night. Cifuentes, Raskin and Jack, for me, scoring all 6 out of 10s. Not as effective as they have been in previous games, especially Nicholas Raskin. PSV did seem to wholly control the midfield battle. Their wide men as well, Bakayoko and Lang, were very effective too. Apparently at half-time, Luc de Jong, their captain, was so frustrated that Rangers had taken the lead, he kicked a door off its hinges, apparently. I think the first thing he'd hit properly all night to that point. Unfortunately, PSV did get back into the game, and Sangare equalised, well-worked equaliser from PSV Eindhoven, and a very little Jack Butland could actually do about it. Then came the usual changes for Michael Beale around about that 60-odd minute mark. A double substitution of John Lundstrom and Rabbi Matondo on for Seema and Jack. Many people not quite understanding why Ryan Jack was taken off. I think many people would have rather have seen Cifuentes or Raskin taken off at that point, as neither were having a particularly great game. Lundstrom came on in central midfield. I must admit at that point I was like, oh God, not John Lundstrom. The guy is useless. He was okay, did a reasonable job, wasn't brilliant, wasn't really effective, wasn't really ineffective, just was John Lundstrom really, I think. Rabbi Matondo, however, continues his arc of redemption. I think that's what CJ Novo called it this morning. He was absolutely outstanding yet again. Have we uncovered the real Rabbi Matondo? Speed, quality, pace, power, had their right back in all sorts of problems. I suppose there's money problems. There's our right back was in James Tavernier again, absolutely hopeless defensively. Really did struggle both. So their first goal did obviously come from their left-hand side, our right-hand side of defence. James Tavernier, for me, scoring 4 out of 10. Yes, he is very good going forward. Yes, he contributes goals. But can he defend anymore? I don't think he can. His defence is pretty poor for me. But obviously, you know, that goal then, a fantastic move broken up. A pass that I thought should have gone to Matondo went to Dessers. Dessers with a fantastic pass to Matondo. Matondo into the area, scores past the PSV goalkeeper Benitez to make it 2-1 Rangers, and Ibrox went absolutely wild at that point. And for 2 minutes we thought we were going to get away with that 2-1 victory and be taking a lead to PSV. However, Luke de Jong scored from a corner with a header. Yet again, another set piece goal conceded by Rangers. Not good enough. Our defending at set pieces does need to improve vastly. Rangers did have chances to win by Matondo's shot, Danio's shot that Danio again should have really put away once he came on. Another disappointing miss from the Brazilian to go with the one that he had in Geneva against Servette. A 2-2, perhaps a fair result on reflections, given how well PSV played at times. But I suppose, you know what, you got to take your chances. You can have loads of the ball, but if you don't take your chances or don't create any chances, what do you expect? Overall, Rangers fought hard. They battled hard. A 2-2, a decent result. Could have been maybe better with a different team selection, possibly. For me, Rabbi Matondo played well. Todd Cantwell, I thought, was fantastic again, buzzing around everywhere, getting after people, getting in people's faces, getting the crowd up. He was absolutely superb, I thought. Connor Goldson and John Suter again were rocks at the central defence last night. Not to blame for either of the goals. I thought both Goldson and Suter were outstanding. Tav and Barisic I thought were very poor. Again, midfield was very average. Seema was poor. Dessers, yes, 2 good assists, flick-ons, but he just doesn't hold the ball up enough. He doesn't hold the ball up. It helped us in that first half. We couldn't get out because he was not holding the ball up and fighting hard enough. For me, Dessers has still got an awful lot to prove if he's going to be a good player for Rangers, and I certainly hope that he makes me eat my words at some point, but really cannot see that guy scoring 10 to 15 goals this season at all. But overall, decent performance. Like I said, Cantwell very good, Goldson, Suter both very good, Rabbi Matondo excellent again, Jack Butland again very good indeed. Sam Lammers a very good cameo too when he came on against his former club, no doubt inspired by that. It certainly makes the second leg, the return leg in Eindhoven next week, very, very tricky, and will be a full-on game where Rangers will need to give again their best performance. I think I would play Lammers. I think he's obviously got a lot to prove, and going out there against his former team, hopefully he will score and at least give us that goal that we need away from home. Yes, I know away goals don't count anymore, but we do need to show real fight and battle on the return leg in Eindhoven. Well, that's pretty much it this morning, other than, of course, the fact that Rangers did unveil, the Union Bears unveiled a Tifo last night of William Poole, Butcher Bill, from the, well, some of you may have seen in the Gangs of New York film. Now, apparently the fact that it was obviously William Poole, who is this figure, a leader of the Bowery Boys gang in New York, an anti-immigrant gang, and then the lyric from the Billy Boys song, Surrender or You'll Die, which is considered sectarian, may land Rangers in a little bit of trouble due to the sectarian nature of that Tifo. Obviously UEFA will review that apparently, so that is a issue that may cause. It was a brilliant Tifo, it looked very effective, and it was very nice, but it could land Rangers in a whole host of trouble. Other news, obviously, Rangers have got a new investor, well, have promoted an existing investor up to the board, John Halsted, who is an American Harvard graduate, a finance guy with a personal fortune of 1.3 billion. Halsted is very good with investments, with foreign business, with moving business abroad. It simply does show from Bennett and Bisgrove they are looking to get a worldwide image for Rangers, a real looking to exploit every single revenue stream they possibly can. So I think a very good move by the club to bring and give Halsted a place on the board. Well guys, let me know what you thought of the game last night, what you thought of the Tifo, and also what you think of Halsted coming on to the board. We're back to proper videos once I'm back home tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching Glasgow Rangers Nation. Please smash the sub, smash the notification bell, and as always, smash that like. That's the first thing. And the second thing, as always guys, we are the people.